When we talk about recursion in computer science, we're talking about a function that calls itself. This type of technique is really good at some problems because of its ability to maintain state at different level of recursions. Just like our couchman watching TV here, recursion can be thought of as a bit of glass that gets filled up with recursive calls of functions, and then we start popping from the top until the very last function gets popped off and returns a value. One thing that we want to be careful of with recursion was this idea of stack overflow, this added memory space, as we keep calling the same function over and over until we possibly can reach a limit and get stack overflow. The rule of thumb that we learned is that we should use recursion when it makes code more readable. But sometimes it can be less efficient than iterative or looping solutions, so we have to be careful. We also learned the rule that anything you do with a recursion can be done iteratively. And in interviews, you'll get asked the question of the pros and cons of why we might want to use recursive over iterative. And I know I've brought this up before, but it's worth repeating. Recursion is interesting and clever, but can be costly, so you have to be really careful with it. Because recursion and space complexity are not friends. But when it comes to some problems like sorting and tree traversal, you'll see that we're going to have to use recursive solutions to make things simpler. Specifically, when we talk about these upcoming topics, we're going to be using recursion. So get ready for it. Merge sort, quick sort, tree traversal, graph traversal, all use recursion. Now we're equipped a lot better to handle those situations that are going to come up. We're starting to build our mind map slowly and slowly. And you see over here that when it comes to tree data structure, ask yourself, should we use recursion? Most of the time, you do want to use recursion, but be mindful that space complexity or stack overflow can happen. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.